The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Thurston County Fire Department, District 3, Lacey, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 34937. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation. Starting on the face of the front bumper, dual air horns on the passenger and driver side. Just inside of that location, you'll find tow hooks protruding through the face of the front bumper. Located directly in the center is the cutout location for your winch cable. Moving just to the right, you'll find your electronic siren PA speaker. Let's move up onto the top of the bumper extension where you'll find on the passenger side your fire bell. There are 2 storage locations located on the passenger and driver side. Directly in the center, you'll find access to the winch. As we move up onto the cab face, on the outer edges, you'll find a marker and turn indicator. Just inside of that location is the headlight structure housing a low beam and high beam. The high beam will be located on the inside. Directly above that, you'll find emergency warning lights. There are 2 on each side forward facing. Directly behind the Pierce logo is where you'll find the release mechanism for gaining access into the hood area. Moving up onto the windshield, you'll find 3 windshield wipers across the seamless one-piece windshield. Moving out to the outer edges are your mirrors housing a flat and convex mirror. Directly over the passenger area, you'll find an additional downward-facing convex mirror. As we move to the light brow, you'll find clearance lights embedded within the forward-facing floodlight. Moving up onto the roof, you'll find your emergency warning light bar. There are 2 located, one on each side, directly over the driver and passenger seat. Above that, you'll find spotlights, passenger and driver side. As we move to the driver side light bar, you'll find your Opticom located inside the light bar. Moving up onto the tip of the ladder, you'll find a camera. Let's take a look at some close-ups just underneath now. First, starting with tow hooks, there are 2 sets, one located rear section and then one moving toward the forward bumper section, and you'll see it's connected here to your winch cable. Let's move up now onto the top of the bumper extension. As we look inside, there are once again 2 tubbed storage locations, one on the passenger, one on the driver's side, your winch located in the center, remote plug-in, and also free spool lock mechanism on the right-hand side in the image. Let's take a look at the Pierce logo. Directly behind is where you'll find the release mechanism for the latch for gaining access to the hood. Let's go ahead and move now to the side of the cab area. Let's first start down at the axle, Bridgestone tires, Alcoa wheels, and also a sight gauge located in the center axle. As we move to the bumper extension, a side-facing emergency warning light. Let's move to the cab doors where you'll find latch and lock, easily accessible with a gloved hand. Right next to that, you'll find your grab handles at each point of entry. There are some identified items within this area directly over the axle. We'll talk about those. I have a close-up next. As we move up to the cab door at the very top section, you'll find a side-facing floodlight on the passenger and driver's side. Let's go ahead and take a look at some close-ups. Once again, Bridgestone tires, Alcoa wheels, sight gauge located in the center. As we move to that area I said we'd expand on, this is the digital keyed entry for your person doors. Moving just to the right, you'll find voltage information and also tank pressure. As we move down, you'll find your compressor receptacles. This is an auto eject plug. Moving just to the right, you'll find your battery charger auto eject plug. Let's go ahead and move inside the cab now. This is going to be the driver's space. Affixed to the door panel is where we'll start with all of our safety and warning information placard. You'll also find the door lock and latch mechanism combination. Moving up from that location, you'll find window control for all 4 cab windows and also a grab handle. Let's move down to the stepwell area where you'll find on the left an air inlet, and then just to the right you'll find an air shutoff and air outlet. We'll go ahead and move up now to about the floorboard, where you'll find this yellow placard. This is the placard manufactured for your apparatus, indicating the date of manufacture, the 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, VIN number, all of the fluid capacities for each component, and also fluid type. Let's stay within this area now. We'll first start about the left knee of the operator, and we'll start with the master battery switch. It is the upper red switch. It's a quarter turn on or off. As we move downward, you'll find engine diagnostic information and also J1939. Just beneath that, you'll find DPF regen and also diagnostic information switches for your maintenance team. At the floorboard, you'll find your air horn and mechanical siren foot pedals. Let's move to the dash. On the left-hand side, you'll find your 4-way flashers, hazard lights, start switch, and ignition switch. Just to the right, you'll find a switch labeled EM, which stands for Emergency Master. It will engage and disengage all emergency lights. To the right, your headlight switch and also a switch labeled panel, which will allow you to brighten or dim lights within preview of the operator. As we move to the gauges, the transmission oil, depth level, and water temperature on the left. On the right, you'll find volts, fuel, front and rear air. Directly in the center, you'll find the tachometer and speedometer, and you'll find diagnostic engine information will display above and below the tachometer. Let's move slightly to the right. Although not pictured in this image, this is the yellow diamond, which is your pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. Just to the right is the Pierce Command Zone. Tremendous amount of information right here at your fingertips. Please see the owner's manual for more information. To the right, your Allison transmission pad. As we move to the switches here, we have perimeter lights, siren brake, backup disable, DNMT override, stabilizer camera, mirror heat, high beam flash, and tracking lights. As we move down to the rocker switches, you'll find your aerial master, aerial PTO, generator PTO, engine brake on and off, a setting switch for low, medium, and high for the engine brake, air dump disable. To the right, you'll find your memory switches for fuel primer, load manager, and air dump. Directly above this location, mirror control for the left and right mirror. Let's move forward toward the windshield area, where you'll find climate control for heat and defrost, air conditioning for both front and rear. Overhead of the operator seat, you'll find a yellow placard on the left indicating the height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating of your vehicle. Height 11 feet 9 inches, length 43 feet 1.4 inches, gross vehicle weight rating 36,000.4 tons. If you make any adjustments to the vehicle, please update this placard. We have some more memory switches located directly over the driver's seat. Emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, light intensity override, rear warning, air horn, and opticom. When any of these switches have been depressed, they will illuminate the outer edge green, indicating they are in operation. Let's move to the right, where you'll find the flood scene master, driver's side cab scene, visor scene, passenger side cab scene, driver's side flood, rear scene, rear work light, and passenger side flood. Let's move further to the right, additional switches, where we have the traffic advisor, left and right, and also power. As we move further to the right, you'll find your seatbelt information module. Red indicating someone is in the seat and they are not belted. Green indicating they are in the seat and belted. Moving just underneath this location is where you'll find this red light. Do not move your apparatus when the light is on, indicating you have an open compartment or door ajar. As we move directly behind the driver's seat, you'll find the air compressor for maintaining tank air pressure. To the right, you'll find a speaker with volume control on the face. This is for your backup camera. You'll also find the handle for your manual cab lift. Let's move down to the rear section cab wall, where you'll find 2 seats forward facing. They do house Scbas inside the seat back. Let's move now to the rear cab area. Let's first start with the door panel. Affixed to the door panel, you'll find our safety and warning information placard. You'll also find door lock and latch, and also electric window controls and grab handles. Moving just inside the cab door, on the rear wall is where you'll also find an additional Scba bracket. Let's move forward now. These are the two compartments on the passenger and driver side: adjustable shelving, LED lighting, and roll-up compartment doors. Directly above, you'll find LED lighting inside the compartment, both on the passenger and driver side area. Lift and turn latch will gain you access to the rear section of the engine. This is for your daily checks for oil and transmission. General view inside the rear section of the cab. These are the two seats located on the pedestal. There is also storage located underneath. Two lift and turn latches will gain you access into this space. Let's move now to the exterior of the apparatus. Directly under those seats is where you'll find two doors, pan doors, located on the outside. D-handle gains you access. Here's an image of the entire truck with all of your compartment doors in the open position. Let's start identifying a few items, starting with the first compartment. You do have adjustable shelving, and also you have release mechanisms on the right-hand side for pulling out the three trays located on the right side. Down at the very bottom section, you'll find a tool box. Here's some images now with the shelves in the outward position, and then with the toolbox with some drawers in the open position. Let's go directly above this location to the next compartment. Inside this compartment, you'll find LED lighting. You'll also find two modules. First, let's start with the S1, which is going to be your Shoreline Power 2, and then Shoreline Power 1. These are the breaker panels for each of those. In the upper section, you'll find your generator module. As we move directly outside of this compartment onto the outrigger stabilizer, you will find danger information placards regarding electrocution hazard because of the equipment not being insulated. You'll also find crush injury hazard information regarding a warning. Because of those actions of movement, there is the possibility of crush injury. Let's move to the next compartment, where you'll find also at the very top section, I've got a close-up of those images. These are going to be your inverters located in the upper section of the compartment. As we move downward, you'll find a pull-out and tilt-down shelf. You'll also find two grab handles on each side for gaining access. We do have fall injury here. When climbing onto the vehicle, make sure that you always face it. As we move to the next compartment's back, there's going to be directly in front of the axle, you'll find your def level fill location, which is the blue cap, and also a single Scba bottle storage location with retaining strap. We also have an additional warning here that only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after they received proper training. As we move in between the two axles, you'll find Scba bottle storage for 4. There are 3 exposed, and then lift at the very bottom center, and we'll find an exposure to the next one. There are also retaining straps on those. As we move into the compartment, you'll also find an upper section pull-out and tilt-down shelf, and then also adjustable shelving within this compartment also. Here's some close-ups of the DEF fill location. This happens to be a 4.5 US gallon DEF tank, and once again, Scba bottle storage. The loop inside is the retaining strap for safety. Once again, the safety and warning information, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment. This is going to be your diesel exhaust fluid caution information. Once again, 4.5 US gallon. As we move in between the two axles, you'll find Scba bottle storage for 3. As we lift up the lower section, there's an additional storage location. Directly over the next compartment up, these are the trays in their pulled out and tilt down. You also have Shoreline generator outlets. They are 20 amp located within individual compartments. As we move toward the rear, you'll find the ultra low sulfur diesel fill location. It is the silver cap. You'll also find Scba bottle storage for 1 bottle. As we move to the rear, you'll find stabilizer pads for your stabilizers. There are 2 located, one for the front and one for the rear. Also inside the compartment, adjustable shelving and LED lighting. We do have this because there is a access ladder here. It is when climbing onto the vehicle, make sure that you always face it. This is going to be the stabilizer because that piece of equipment moving, there is the possibility of crush injury. As we move to the rear of the apparatus, first let's start on the left and right, where you'll find emergency light, brake, turn, and reverse lights. Moving directly up, you'll find 3 cupped switches. These control the left and right side flood body lights, and then also the rear scene lights. As we move to the right, you'll find an additional plug outlet located on the rear section of the apparatus. As we move to the very bottom section, you'll find a gauge here. This is going to be for your aerial inlet. And then just to the right, you'll find a right to left inclinometer. And then also down at the very bottom, we do have a warning regarding pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. Let's move just to the right where you'll find a warning label. It's associated with the eyelet here. This is for direct pull purposes. To the right, you'll find a pan door. Inside the pan door is the access location for your aerial drain. This is an 1.5-inch ball valve aerial drain. As we move up, you'll also find the relief valve and a set screw on the outer edge. Let's move to the very bottom section. Behind the pan door here, you'll find the diverter valve for aerial or stabilizer control. You'll also find diverter valves located here. They are color-coded to the valve and also to the informational placard on the back section of the pan door. There are also some warning information and also danger placards regarding high-pressure fluid and also tip-over or structural failure hazard. Let's move up into the ladder compartment area. You'll find your ground loaders located in this area, along with long-handled tool storage. LED lighting within inside this compartment. Once again, as we move to the right, we do have danger regarding electrocution hazard. The ladder is not insulated, and that's the purpose of that danger placard. Also, fall, never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. As we move to the next compartment, you'll find your emergency stop push button, also a protected override switch, and aerial stabilizer power. To the right, you'll find your diagnostic USB interface location. And then down at the very bottom, you'll find the tethered stabilizer control module. On the rear section of that door, you'll also find aerial stability hazard information placard and also caution equipment danger placard. Let's take a look now at the passenger side of the vehicle. We'll start at the very rear stabilizer with this warning label regarding crush hazard. And now we'll go ahead and identify within the compartmented space adjustable shelves located in this and LED lighting. Let's move forward. Next compartment, you'll find Scba bottle storage locations in addition with an air bottle storage. Those do have retaining straps. Same configuration in between the axles with Scba bottle storage. As we move to the forward portion, you'll also find Scba bottle storage location with retaining straps and then also an equipment location for your auction bottle. Here's some close-ups of those items we just talked about. First, the center section is what lifts up so you can gain access to the fourth bottle in this compartment. Let's move to the next compartment forward. In this area is where you'll find the stabilizer, additional warning labels here regarding danger, electrocution, and also crush injury. As we move to the compartment, adjustable shelving and LED lighting, this compartment does have also a shoreline generator outlet. Let's move now just downward from this location where you'll find this placard. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen. Be cautious where you park your vehicle. As we move directly over, this is the through compartment here, LED lighting inside this area and the pan door. As we move forward, once again, those are the two warning placards we have, one for danger and one for warning regarding crush, and the other at the very top section, once again, because the equipment is not insulated. Let's move forward now. This is the compartment that has a through compartment door. As you can see, there are 3 locations here for pull-out trays, and then also a complete full-out tray on the far right-hand side, which will expose the entire tray all the way outward. Let's move to the cab area where you'll find at the very rear section an additional storage location. D-handle gains you access into this compartment. As we move into the rear section of the cab area, let's first start with the door panel. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning information, also door lock and latch, and also electric windows and grab handle. As we move inside, adjustable shelving and also LED lighting in the roll-up compartment here. Directly above, same as the other side, LED lighting inside this compartment. As we move exterior, this is the compartment just to the rear of the officer seat, adjustable shelving and LED lighting. Let's go ahead and move now into the officer space. First, let's start with the door panel. Affixed to that door panel is safety and warning information. At the top, we have our door lock and latch, electric windows, and grab handle. As we move inside the cab area, you'll find your vehicle is equipped with an airbag SRS supplemental restraint system. It's located here in this black space. Make sure that you don't mount anything within this area to defeat the purpose of the airbag. To the right, you'll find the bell rope and also grab handle. As we move just to the left, you'll find a siren brake, air horn, and parking brake. As we move just to the rear of this, you'll find a digital speedometer,
Moving forward, you'll find 4 locations for 12-volt access, either barrel style or USB. And at the very front, you'll find the vehicle data recording port. Let's go ahead and look overhead in the officer space. Just a general view. We'll start first with some of the individual switches and modules. Let's start first with your siren control and PA speaker module. It's right next to the seatbelt information placard. Moving to the right and just underneath, you'll find your Firecom wireless base station, and then also the Firecom module. Moving further to the right, you'll find your unit radio. We do have additional switches on this side. They are memory switches. Let's move further to the right to some membrane switches. First, flood scene master, driver side cab scene, visor scene, passenger side cab scene, driver side flood, traffic advisor left, traffic advisor right, and passenger side flood. Let's move to the floorboard where you'll find 2 foot pedals. First, electronic siren, and the next is your mechanical siren. Once again, general view overhead, you'll find your push on and off white or red lens lights, and then also stereo speakers. As we move to the pedestal now, this is going to be on the pedestal. This is the handle for gaining access and opening the pedestal. You'll also find warning regarding fall restraint required and also crush injury because of the rotation of the device. We're now at the pedestal area. On the left with the compartment in the open position, you'll find your speaker for your intercom system. As we move down, you'll find volume control on the intercom module and also a push to talk for the module itself. To the right, you'll find an open and close aerial discharge switch with indicators. As we move now down to the panel, you'll find an emergency stop. It is the red button. Also an air horn, also indicating a red switch. And then further to the right is your remote aerial activation, providing power to the tip. As we move down, you'll find lights for tracking, tip, and also AC lights. Moving further down, you'll find your emergency hydraulic power, scene light master, base section AC lights. As we move further down, you'll find your aerial speed, generator on and off, and a green indicator if the generator is operational. Located back up at the top is where you'll find your Pierce command zone display. Moving downward, you'll find nozzle control. We do have a deploy stow with an indicator light, and then also nozzle control for stream and fog, or lower raise, right and left. To the right are your ladder controls. We have extend and retract, right and left, lower and raise. On the cover itself, we have additional warning information and danger placard information. On the left side, you'll find the NFPA 1911 testing placard information. On the right, you'll find the ascendant waterway dry with a 50-mile-an-hour wind condition. Just down from that, you'll find waterway charged, once again, 50-mile-an-hour wind condition. And then also monitor nozzle positions. As we move down to the very bottom section, you'll find capacities, also which have asterisk information. Please see the owner's manual for more information on these areas. Let's move to the 4-section aerial device now. On each side of the aerial device base section, you'll find toolboxes. There is some warning information on the toolbox. These placards are indicating a maximum capacity of 75 pounds and making sure that the actual lid is secured when in operation. Let's go ahead and move now to the outer edge and inner fly section, where you'll find a 10-foot roof ladder located on the outside and then also a 10-foot roof located on the inside. General view here of the ladder. Let's go ahead and move out toward the tip of the ladder, identify a few items within this area. First, you'll find 2 fold-down steps. This is on the fly section. You'll also find hand tools located in this area. As we move to the very tip section, you'll find the ability to move the nozzle to a lower position. This is the mechanism that allows you to do that. In the very center, the center rod that sticks out to the side with information on how to operate that. See the owner's manual for its operation. I'd also like to point out this is a crush injury warning because of that ladder movement during the operation. And also you'll find your intercom speaker located on the right is passive, therefore there is no push to talk for that. On the left, we do have some warning information regarding electrocution hazard and also fall injury. You'll also find your control for your module and also DC lights, base lights, and AC lights switch panels located on the left-hand side of the ladder. As we move just inside where that red switch was located, this is your ladder control function from the tip area, right to left, up and down, extend, retract. You also have, once again, warning information here regarding tip over, structural failure, and also operator information. Once again, this is the intercom system. There is volume control here. It is passive. To the right, you do have power out to the end of the ladder tip, and that's what this outlet is for. Once again, danger regarding electrocution hazard because of this device being not insulated. Just some general views here of the ladder in its stowed position. You have additional tip lights located on each side of the base area, and then also additional lights on the fly section. This is the device that allows you to stow that nozzle at a lower position. Once again, see the owner's manual for its operation. We do have additional lights located on the right and left side, and also tip lights forward facing, and also a chainsaw scabbard on the passenger and driver side. Located in the center is your master stream device. Congratulations, Lacey Fire Department, on your new Pierce fire apparatus. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.